Hey, good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa, and we have another weather system heading through. Certainly not like the record snowfall that we had for southern Michigan the other day. This one will be mostly the UP, northern Michigan, and a reverse lake effect is what I call it, and that is a south-southwest wind. A cold south-southwest wind will make heavy lake effect along the shoreline, along Lake Michigan in some spots. All right, let's get to it. Let's start off with where the warnings and advisories are in effect first off. And up in the UP, it's a little clearer what's going on. Winter storm warnings. Now remember, it's a south-southwest wind. So as opposed to the lake effect coming down like this, today the lake effect is going to come like that. So winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings, 3 to 8 inches, 10 inches of snowfall. Now here, a winter weather advisory is masked by a lakeshore flood advisory. Yeah, sorry, Ryan Lynch. Why so cold? And you saw my little blurb. You know, I've been talking about, oh gosh, I think we're going to have a warm-up. And I do think we're going to have a warm-up, but I think it's going to take a while before it gets here. Now I'm looking at probably December, and I should temper it by calling it warmer than average by a few degrees, and at that point we're at wintry weather. So I'm starting to get skeptical as to whether we actually see a lot of 40s again. We will see 40, but will we see a good stretch of 40s? I don't know just yet. I'm starting to get skeptical on it. Past few days I thought maybe it would happen, but I've seen some trends. So here's the snow, and it's not really put together very well coming toward Michigan. Here's the radar forecast. And we'll go into noon. And here's your reverse band of lake effect on a south wind. Okay, so it can hit Ludington and Manistee and Benzie County pretty hard. Hey, good morning, Omer. Yeah, no fall cleanups. Shouldn't we have had a winter storm warning on Monday? Yes, when you get 9 inches in southern lower, it should turn to a winter storm warning, but it was an efficient stacker-upper, if that's a phrase. And, you know, it went 2-3 inches heavier than what we thought. So, yes, in the end, it should have been a winter storm warning if it was a perfect forecast, but there are very few perfect snowstorm forecasts everywhere. Usually you get a couple of counties where it does something not as anticipated. Okay, so we're into 5 and 6 o'clock this afternoon. So southern lower, drive home, you're going to be fine, I do believe. You know, you might have some light snow in patches around, but Detroit, Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Jackson should be fine. Flint should be fine. Saginaw should be fine. Maybe light snow starting up there. It's the northern half of lower Michigan that's getting the light snow this evening. And as we go through the night, it tries to inch its way south into the form of sporadic snow showers. This is 4 in the morning and 7, 8 in the morning. So you might wake up to a light dusting on the roads, slow you down just a touch in the southeast on Thursday. And certainly will be cold enough for anything that falls to stick again. Here's snowfall forecast. And again, Detroit, Ann Arbor, Jackson, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Grand Rapids, Flint, not much, maybe a dusting, maybe a ½ inch. Saginaw, maybe ½ inch, maybe an inch, Bay City, and then you get up to Manistee and Ludington and Leelanau County, 3 to 5 inches there. Traverse City, about 2 inches. Up into the eastern UP, 3 to 5, and then along that southern shoreline. This is the time where US 2 is kind of nasty with that south wind and the reverse lake effect. All right, so what I told you was, you know, it would be rare for cold of this nature, record cold. By the way, some records this morning shattered by 9 degrees. When you set a record by 9 degrees, that's a pretty significant record. Flint, I think, was down into about, what was it, 6 or so, and the old record was 15, so that's a big shatter. you know, it's hard to stay that cold, and we won't stay at record cold. And the thought is that everything's leaning toward December, starting to see quite a moderation. I think that will happen, but again, we have to superimpose the fact that December is a colder month. So what I'm starting to look at is these again are the upper level temperatures at 5,000 feet, deviations from normal. So when you see the purples, you're colder than normal, like we are now. And when you see the reds, we're warmer than normal. And we had seen a growing patch of warmer than normal weather, but now it looks like it's smaller patches the last 1 or 2 days. So we're into Sunday, and we do moderate 30s and maybe some 40s. And then next week a little cold comes back. Late next week, Thursday-ish, we're into a little bit warmer than normal. Then we're back to colder than normal. Then the warmer than normal starts to build, but as we get out into the end of this, things are starting to show a large area of cold again. This is toward the end of November. So my point being is that we're probably going to have warm-ups, but they're 1 and 2 day warm-ups, not 2 and 3 week stretches of warmer weather. Warmer than it should be for this time of the year is a good way, I think I should say it. High temperatures today, if you want to call them that, in the 20s. High temperatures tomorrow, low 30s, so there will be some melting, but remember, it's, you know, only a few hours if you're going to get to an afternoon high of 34 or 35. Same deal on Friday, some melting, and at least get the ice off of the secondary roads. Saturday, a little bit colder. Sunday, back to 35-ish in a lot of places. Then Monday would be our first chance that any spots could hit 40 degrees. And Tuesday, creep up into the 40 to 43 degree range. So it's definitely cold. We got another snow system in the northern sections. Southern sections, it'll be more just of a decorative type snow off and on late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And then fairly quiet weather as far as precipitation goes into the weekend. It looks dry, slow warming. But will you see the leaves again long enough to have them dry out and have you rake them up? I still think yes, but getting a little skeptical on that now. So there's your forecast update this morning from MLive. Thanks for joining me. Please hit the share button. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa.